but you can sort of steer this in a direction if you would like to do that. Stuff will come up that you might not intend to come up because she'll tell us stuff.
Okay.
But again, we can kind of direct things based on what we do. When we first start bringing up big energy like that, it scares people.
Yeah.
It scares horses. I'm not saying that that's something you shouldn't do, okay? But for this particular horse's sake, I had to slow it down a little bit so that we didn't get her coming out of here, okay? So, and she came right back down, right? So this is an interesting thing. If we bring up so much that it starts scaring people and getting them to run away, does that mean we shouldn't do it? You broke some rule there, right, about what you did with your energy.
Yeah.
Big time. You don't normally do that.
No.
No. Does that mean you shouldn't? Was it wrong?
I don't know. I sort of think yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's what your conditioning tells you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That it was bad, that it was gonna drive her crazy. Just for a minute, look at her eyes, Eliza.
What?
Just for a minute, look at her eyes. Does she look different than the way she was cantering before?
Yes.
Yeah. Is she scared?
No.
Are you guys flowing together?
Yeah.
And you haven't blocked her for I don't know how many circles you've gone around here, have you?
I know Angel looks completely different.
Yeah. Woo.
Through that transition of going, oh, she's doing the thing I don't want her to do, but your chest stayed open, your shoulders stayed back, you stayed grounded in your hip, and you just moved. Yeah. Instead of what you were doing before, which instead of being here was there. Very different.
So how does that feel as opposed to what was going on the other direction?
It felt strong. It felt
strong.
Yeah.
So where were you coming from? When you say strong, that sounds kind of like the opposite of what you told me at the beginning about inconsistent.
Yeah.
You said we have a lot of trouble with consistency.
Yeah.
Strong, and the leadership you just gave her there, you looked like you knew exactly what you were doing, and you weren't questioning yourself.
That's what it felt like.
You were here.
The big, from a listener point of view, the first conversation was very much about there is this dramatic energy in my life with which I am deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You were very comfortable with the energy
Yeah.
that you were just moving her around here with.
Yeah.
And it was enough that she cantered consecutive circles around in here. And if you, this is not a horse that, you're having actually quite an easy time of moving her. She tends to be a horse that for a lot of people it's quite difficult to get her to move. So there's some energy flowing, enough to keep her in a canter with a very soft expression on her face, with lots of horses don't do that if they're tight and tense. There was a lot of Eliza to that, of you just being you and flowing. And it may be a while before you start to believe that is you, because, you know, that's just not something you allow yourself to do that much, to just flow with it, create it and then flow with it,
Yeah.
right? And just be with it. But you did it here, and you can come back to that place. What did that feel like when the two of us were moving around in here? What did that feel like when we had that little roadblock and you knew, you didn't second guess, you said my instincts tell me get in here, my feedback, the things I've done before have taught me that if I get in here and I do this, that we'll get back on track. So she gave you the feedback about how does this feel when we bring up energy and then we flow together with it and we allow it to continue without having to get in and stopping it. And then also right at the end there, the feedback of this is life. Things are going to get messy at times. But there was no, oh no, this isn't working. There was just clarity. There was leadership coming from that clear flow of energy. And you knew what to do. So those times when you think you don't know what to do because you don't have any model for it, inside you do know what to do. You just might not trust it.
Yeah.
But you can come back here, come back to this time you had with Angel and say, no, you know what, I actually do. From that powerful place inside me, I do know what to do.